Right. Coming to y'all live after a long day of actually doing some hard shit, which felt fucking good. It's really quite interesting. Over the last couple days when I was sitting at the house trying to figure out what my next move was, I didn't have all this energy. I was honestly very low energy, low confidence, low energy, low motivation, and it was simply because I think I had nothing to do. When I was contemplating last Saturday whether or not I should go out to knock, I became concerned over the fact that if I start doing this, if I start doing something that takes more effort, more energy, more output than just, my current standard, which is very bare minimum with the Uber, I thought maybe I might not have the energy I need for forming my startup, for coding the contracts, for building the sites, for doing all the tasks that are involved with launching a tech startup. And I was coming from this scarcity mindset thinking I can only do one or the other. But if the last week has taught me anything, it's the fact that you can pull energy straight out the ether. I know that sounds crazy, but this concept that we're limited in energy and you have to conserve your energy for only the most important things. Honestly, I'm beginning to see more so as a fallacy because after today was I'm pretty sure it was like a high of 50. I'll check the weather real fast, but it was a cold fucking day. High of 47 today. Okay. And were we outside from 9 a.m. to fucking 6:30? No. But we went out from about, I'd say like 11:30, like 11:45-ish to, we took a break to use the bathroom around, I believe it was around like 2:30, 2:45, and then knocked for another 30 minutes. So I'll be completely honest, not all that long, but we did get in 26 interactions, did four window counts. So four people were open to the idea of letting us do the cleans. Two of them fell through my fingers. Two of them were sales had we honed in the skill strong enough. But obviously they weren't. One still maybe. But then we secured one sale. And this was actually towards the very beginning of the day. I did notice I started off the day very high energy. And then obviously, with the cold, with the wind, with the rain, it takes a toll on your charisma, I suppose. But that's honestly a mental block too. There's no reason it should. Nonetheless, we had ended up going out to knock. We've gotten a full workout in. We ate a full amount of calories today. We what else did we do? We ended up going to the store as well because I was gonna buy the storage device that I needed for offloading some of these videos on my computer. I'm still trying to figure out what the best storage device is. Target didn't have what I was looking for, at least the location that I was at. So as I'm saying it doesn't sound like a crazy productive day, but just compared to the last few, it was drastically more productive than just driving Uber. The only reason I didn't drive Uber today after doing all of the rest was just because it was raining and the car that I'm in is not the safest. So, it's I am still annoyed that I halted my momentum last weekend, but the key is just getting back up on your feet and continuing to push yourself and do things that make you uncomfortable each day. Because if you're staying comfortable each day, you're not going to be fulfilled. You're going to look back at the end of the day and be like, God damn it, again. I did it again. I didn't get anything done, and my life is still a fucking mess. And so, if you want to feel differently at the end of the day, you have to actually go out and do things that are productive. Even though we didn't make a crazy ton amount of sales, we still put up, the sale that we did lock in was $160. So still made more than I would have done doing Uber. Obviously it needs to be clean, but it's not going to take me more than 2.5 hours. So the key takeaway is you need to do things that are difficult, and it doesn't matter what you're focused on right now. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You need to wake up and you need to fulfill this drive to actually get something done because otherwise you're just going to be in, you're going to be on your phone. You're not going to know what the fuck to do. And again, you're going to reflect on the day and wish you had done something different. So I am happy about the fact that we at least did some things that were productive. We still do need to improve our habits. And again, that's been something that I've talked about from the beginning of the channel. That is something that I have not been on top of to the degree that I would like to be. The degree that we frankly need to be this year. This year, like if any year is a year that you can pull energy out of nowhere, it's this year, at least for me. You know, you're the snake, I'm born, you're the snake. And I can just tell you right now, like just from doing today, I feel like I can go on and I'm not going to code till 2 a.m. because I want to wake up at a good time tomorrow, anyways. But like, I'm going to code after I'm done recording this video. I'm going to get some more stuff set up with our platform. Um, just overall, I feel better. I feel energized. And I feel like I have more energy going into tomorrow, the next day to go out, conquer, and do better. Because that is, at the end of the day, what it's all about. It's all about getting 1% better. But take these words with heed. One day can destroy 1 month worth of progress. So don't let one day blow away everything that you've worked towards as far as mental state, as far as, like obviously like it's not gonna, destroy your life, but like if you've been doing something for a month that's gotten you into the mental focus state of what you need to do to go on to the next level, it's very easy to fall back down to the original level you started with if you start slacking. So doesn't matter what you are doing. If you're knocking doors over the summer and you come back home, stay busy. If you are starting a side hustle and you have a weekend off, don't take that fucking weekend off. Do something with that time that's actually going to go towards benefiting it. Because every time you divert your attention to doing something that's comfortable, you're setting yourself back. And that setback is much more drastic than the progress that you make each day. So those are my key takeaways from today. Obviously, a cold day. Obviously, wasn't the greatest weather, but Michael Phelps, interestingly enough, has the highest metabolism in the world. From what I remember, he burns about 13,000 calories a day. Let me just fact check this. How many calories does Michael Phelps burn per day? Yeah, Michael Phelps burns 10,000 calories per day. And these are just articles that Siri pulled up. So I'm sure that 13,000 number's in there somewhere. But this motherfucker was eating like pancakes and Big Macs and all this different shit. All these crazy amounts of calories. And doctors were looking at, his activity and they're like, for the amount of swimming you're doing, you're eating at a tremendous calorie surplus. And for a time, people didn't understand why his metabolism was so high. It was the fact that the water was so cold that his body was shivering off all these extra calories. And this is how he was able to stay incredibly lean while still eating, a multiple on what makes the typical average American obese. And so it all had to do with the fact that he got in a comfortable environment every single fucking day to train and to improve his body, his mind, and his potential. And so the same way that Michael Phelps, is using, I wouldn't say he's necessarily using it. Maybe he is choosing to have the water cold, but his metabolism is boosted by the fact that he's in an environment that is very uncomfortable, that most people wouldn't subject themselves to. So when it's cold outside and you have to go knock and your competition is bitching out, because frankly, that's what I did last week, even though it wasn't even that cold. It was like 70 degrees outside last weekend. But most people are going to look at these obstacles like something that's in the way, like something they should wait to pass over. But if you look at it as a benefit, I'm trying to get shredded. We're trying to look good for the summer. And so if you look at it like, oh, it's cold, I'm going to burn extra calories when I go to knock. Oh, it's cold. I'm going to have more energy because my body is vibrating at a faster frequency than normal. Give it, I'm shivering. There's all these different ways that you can look at it. But what I'm trying to say is you need to be able to look at the things that may appear as obstacles to the average person as benefits, as advantages to yourself. And this is how you can really set yourself ahead of everybody else who's going to, wait out the storm. One of the things I was thinking about, and it is the past, but if I had gone out and set up, $1,000 worth of jobs and I posted a Craigslist listing when it's 40 degrees outside, do you think the bums are gonna be hitting me up, asking me for that job? It's gonna be the fucking dogs. And so again, it's hindsight. Who knows who I would have met? But regardless, sometimes these lessons, I don't think you need to learn every lesson too. Here's another important lesson that you guys can learn from my own mistake is that you don't need to suffer every single lesson to understand the lesson. Like realistically, I understood. Like I watched the video that I made the night before Saturday, talking about how I plan to go out, talking about how it doesn't make sense to just continue doing Uber, given there's going to be fucking Tesla bots driving and dropping people's food off in 2 to 5 years. It doesn't make sense to keep doing that and just hoping for the best. Obviously, we're doing other stuff with the crypto stuff, but we have the opportunity to really make an impact this year as far as our progression. Over the last few years, our situation has stayed relatively the same. And so if I want to see myself go the furthest, I have to push myself the furthest. It doesn't just come because, oh, you're born this year, it's going to be a good year, regardless of whether you sit on your hands or you actually go out and make something of yourself. That's not the way the world works. You have to put effort in, and in return, you will get effort out as long as you continue to put in effort consistently. So, with with um with this stuff, like I didn't need to go through this lesson of feeling like shit, thinking, God damn it, like why the fuck did I not take advantage of this weekend? Um, Again, it is what it is. I don't think the fact that I hesitate with this bothers me, but I don't think it's gonna stop us from becoming a successful person. But it's not something that I literally I cannot tell you how much annoyance I've had on myself over the last few days for taking the easy route that day. After I'd hyped myself up the night before, just changing my mind because damn, like, is this aligned? And sure, like, I don't know. That's the other thing that I'm kind of contemplating with this too, because, obviously I don't like door to door. Um, is it a way that you can make money? Yeah. And it's a higher leverage skill than just driving a car. Um, I wasn't sure whether or not it made sense to do that while trying to start the business, but at the same time, I don't know if that was an excuse. And again, it just bothers me, like every single fucking day you have to take full advantage. Like if you believe that you deserve better than everybody else, it's up to you to prove that. You can't just hold that belief and not put in more work than every other single person to continue believing that. Otherwise, you're just delusional. And I want to be delusional. I want to be someone who people consider a visionary, but at the same time, like I want people to think my ideas are huge, but know that I'm a person capable of achieving them. You shouldn't do things for other people's admiration or opinion either. But what I'm just trying to say is, there is a certain level of confidence that you have in yourself and other people have within you when you go out and you consistently make the hard choice, which is more often than not the right choice. And so, given this year is the year to go hard. Like if there was any year that was, best chance of success, it's this year. So there's no reason to play it safe. And that's why I think it makes sense for us to really see what we can push ourselves to our limits and see what we can achieve. We can pull the energy as long as we consistently do things that are pushing our limits. This idea that things are finite is a scarcity mindset, and that's something that I think a lot of people have, right? A lot of people are poor. A lot of people, once they get a little bit of money, they hold on to it tight and they don't want to let it go. And I'm guilty of that too, to a degree. Even just with the program situation, forking over like that hard-earned money, I was like, fuck, like I'm starting from the fucking ground again. But Grant Cardone, he talks about this all the time, going broke, because there's nothing that will motivate you more to go out and make something happen than knowing that your situation depends on it. So we need to transition out of Uber. We've been doing Uber since November. And realistically, I think seeing if we can add another zero to our skill set every 3 months is a very strong way to make sure that we're taking full advantage of the year. Because essentially, what that would mean is from now until April, we're looking at going from $1,000 months or four-figure months to five-figure months. And then from April to July, we're looking at going from, five-figure months to six-figure months. And then July to October, we're looking at going from six-figure to seven-figure. And obviously, like once we get up to those higher levels, things are not like, am I going to be making multiple six figures every single month? Who fucking knows? Obviously, like we do have goals, but the whole goal this year is kind of just planting the seeds, getting things prepared so that we can let time take its course. And obviously, like we're not going to be a Warren Buffett, like trying to wait 90 years to see the fruits of our labor, but we're setting things up strategically so we can make sure that the things that we build this year end up snowballing and continuing to gain momentum the years following. So again, it does come down to improving yourself as a person. Something that I am happy I've done is, while it has been somewhat choppy and inconsistent the last few weeks, I've made over 100 videos, and my ability to speak has definitely improved as a result of it. And so, if I want to improve my confidence, if I want to improve my body language and my overall, you can call it aura when I'm going out and talking with people, then that comes down to practicing, being in a situation where your body language matters. YouTube videos is obviously it's a degree of it, but the really heat of the moment, the equivalent of not knowing Spanish and going to Spain is if you want to learn body language, go out and put yourself in a situation where people don't know you and you have to get them to trust you. So we tomorrow's gonna be another fucking cold day, but we only have one job right now for Saturday. And ideally I'd like to set up a few so we can try to get a person from Craigslist out there to help us complete them. So tomorrow we're gonna go out, gonna knock again. Um, I know doing 50 interactions a day should set us at a pretty good pace as far as just overall improving skill set level. Excuse me, improving skill set level and increasing the learning curve. So 50 interactions a day is I think over the weekends it's definitely gonna be doable. Over the weekdays I start a little bit earlier, just given we didn't start last weekend, but we're gonna see what we can actually get done tomorrow. There should be a little bit more people home, just given it's gonna be a Friday, so we'll go about that and see what we can do. But the thing is just taking action. If you're just thinking about all these different things that may happen, that might happen, that aren't even at the forefront of issues to handle, then you're gonna get in this analysis paralysis state, and don't be in that state. Take action, and when things come up, then you can worry about them. But don't start overthinking and worrying about them ahead of time. It's just going to make you hesitate and frankly stunt your momentum. So with that being said, hopefully there's some good takeaways for you guys. Hopefully, this provides some insight that you guys don't have to go through these same mistakes because again, that is what it is. Like we know exactly the situation we're in and we know, staying the same is not going to allow us to change it. So again, take these words with heed. Hope this helps. And with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.